A quick Google search of the term freedom business reveals a stark contrast of definitions. One, in America, a freedom business is one that funds a life of freedom, fun, and adventure. In other parts of the world, a freedom business is one that exists to fight human trafficking or exploitation. Recently, I made an investment in a freedom business in Nepal. I rarely make an investment that I've not seen with my own eyes, so I decided to make a visit to Nepal, bringing along two of my daughters. My purpose was to visit and see several freedom businesses, and also to get exposure to the source of the human trafficking problem. Here's an excerpt from an email that I sent home during our trip. I said this: "My daughters and I have just returned from Kathmandu from a 4-day trek in the mountains of Nepal. We drove 5 hours from Kathmandu over a mountain range on some very treacherous roads. I was amazed that the big Nissan 4-wheel drive got through some of the places without tipping over on rocks or getting stuck in the mud or even falling off of a cliff where it was visible and obvious that landslides are common during the rainy season. After our rugged ride, we hiked an additional 5 miles to a very remote village about 7,000 feet above sea level. No electricity, no bathroom, lots of mud, and very primitive. I visited many impoverished areas all over the world in the past, but I've never spent several days and nights in this kind of poverty. Just 4 years ago, you would not have found a single teenage girl in this village. All of the girls had been sold, trafficked into prostitution by the time they were 12. This region has the highest rate of human trafficking in the country, and mostly girls are sent to India. Today, the exploitation has been almost completely eradicated thanks to some ingenious business people who recognized the root cause of trafficking to be economic. After the 2015 Nepal earthquake, they helped families to not only rebuild their homes, but also to build homestays, a rustic, hostel-type building with 4 to 6 simple bedrooms. Working with the government, they were also able to help the villagers to establish hundreds of miles of hiking trails between villages and over mountains in this very remote region. The homestays have become a popular destination for trekkers and hikers from all over the world, and they bring economic prosperity to the families who host, as well as the many ancillary jobs and revenue generated by tourism. This visit was meaningful and a lifetime memory for me and my girls. It was wonderful to see a little girl quickly hold my daughter Christy's hands on one of our day hikes. It made me cry when this beautiful girl with deep brown eyes and matted hair and a dirty red dress began to cry as we left her village the next day. Obviously, she had experienced a little bit of heaven through the playful love that my daughter Christy had extended to her. Thankfully, this young girl, age 7 or 8, is no longer at risk of being exploited or trafficked because her family has a living wage revenue from their homestay. As we left the village, we took a picture of her family, including her sister, age 16, the first teenage girl in this village in many years. It made me think about my own girls, and would I have sold them if our family had lived in this village 5 years ago and we had no other sources of income for survival. It was an honor to personally get to know the business owners who've made such a life-changing impact in these rural communities, and I'm honored to be invested in their projects. Perhaps you would be interested in hearing more stories of investing in impactful ways, and you might decide that you'd like to participate with us. If so, give my office a call. I'd be happy to have a free consultation to get to know each other and determine if values-based impactful investing is important to you.